Alright guys, so this is for my younger students. If you guys wanted to try this is what we're going to try to do today. We're going to be practicing our spirals and some of the lines that we've learned this year. And I'm also going to show you guys a technique with crayons if you were lucky enough to have crayons at home. So we are going to try that. If not, pencils are just fun. But what you're going to do is you're going to grab a paper. And I'm going to use some marker just so you guys can see this a little bit better. But if you want to use a pencil and that's what you got, then go for it. Alright, so we're going to start with spirals. And we're going to fill in our whole paper. They can be big spirals, they can be little spirals, any size that you want. So I'm going to show you guys how to do a spiral first. And then we'll get started. So a spiral is that you're going to start with a curved line. So I'm going to go around. And it's going to get bigger as I go. So a little bit of a challenge all the way around. See how it's getting bigger? And it's not touching the other one. It's not touching the line before. So it's going to keep going like this. Alright? And you can make it even bigger if you want. But you see how it's not touching. So this line's not touching this line. Alright. So I'm going to turn this into a snail. And how I do that is I'm going to take the end of my spiral and I'm going to draw a line going over. So it is touching now. But that ends my spiral. And then snails have one big giant foot. So I'm going to give them a big giant foot like this. Okay, so it's going to go out, under, and then I am just going to cut that off. I'm going to go like this. Okay. And the cool thing, I think, about snails is they have these really funny eyeballs that they can kind of pull into their squishy foot. And I'm going to give them some eyes like this. Now, if you want to give your snail some character, you're going to give them some circles, and you can give them some eyeballs. All right? And you can make this a whole lot of fun. You can give them a lot of character. You could give your snail some eyelashes, or maybe you want to give them a mustache, anything that you want, okay? But make it your snail. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fill in around our snails with spirals. So you can make them into more snails. You can just leave them as spirals. You can try to go in another direction. So I'm really comfortable going in this direction. And I find it really challenging to try to go in the opposite direction. That's hard for me. Okay, so I'm going to try that again. Just because it's hard, it's fun to have a challenge. Okay, and I'm going to go this way, and then I'm going to go, oh, that's hard, it's hard, it's hard. I hate going that way. All right, but I'm going to try anyway. All right, I'm going to fill in the space. They're not touching, so notice that none of my spirals are touching each other. Make sure there's lots of space around them. Oh, I think I could probably fit one more. Yeah, I think that looks good. So I have my background kind of filled in. If you want to turn them into snails, remember you've got to draw that line to finish the shell. Oh, I forgot I had these. These are cool. So it's like a sea snail, right? So you have that spiral. See how it's bigger right here and it ends off at the spiral? Love it. And then spiral goes all the way around to the end. That's cool. I forgot I had those. Alright, and I am going to just do this because I want to. Because it's my art. Remember, it's your art. You can make it how you want. So, here's the thing. If you want to do this next part, you can and challenge yourself. If you don't and you just want to color in around your spirals, that's fine too. I'm going to make this a little bit more challenging, and I'm going to use some of the lines that we learned this year. So let's see, I got to try to remember some of them. I know that we learned a straight line this year, and I'm going to connect two of my spirals with some straight lines. Awesome. And now I think, oh, my favorite. It's a zigzag line. Zigzag line. Remember our line dance, guys? That was fun. And let's see, how about a broken line? Chop it up. Alright, looks good. Let's see, what else we got? I always forget about the curly line. Makes me dizzy. Curly line. curly, curly, curly. So if you want to do that slowly, it's a loop, 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 like curly hair, remember? All right, and you can fill in the rest of this however you want. You can repeat your lines. You could just make them all your favorite line if you want. I could do a bunch of dotted lines, a little bit of disco, dotted line. All right, fill it in. All right, so I can go all the way around, fill in all my blank space, make it really challenging. So that is one thing that you can do. If you do not have crayons at home, you might not be able to do this next part, but you can always try to do it with a pencil. And so I'm going to show you guys how to do this. So we're going to make our shells look a little round. We're going to kind of play around with that a little bit. I'm going to do this a little bit close up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a crayon of my choice, and I'm going to press hard around the lines. So what I mean by that is I'm going to press pretty hard and make a nice solid dark line going around next to my lines all the way around. Keep going, keep going, keep going. A little bit hard to do, but you got to follow the spiral. Oh, and now I got to do the other side. So I'm going to go along the bottom of my shell, and I'm going to go around. Make it, see how I'm going back and forth? And that makes a darker line. If I just draw a line like this, it's not as dark. So I want to go back and forth and color in my line. You can make it a thick line, you can make it a skinny line. Remember, it's your, I broke my pencil. Not my pencil, my crayon. That's interesting. I called it a pencil. All right. And so I am going to keep going around, keep going around, keep going around. Almost there. Almost got it. Oh, remember, if your hand gets tired, shake it out. All right. So here's where we're going to make it a little bit round. So I did the edge and I pressed really hard. So we're going to play around with the pressure, or how hard you press with your crayon. So I pressed pretty hard for this line right here, and now I'm going to press really lightly, which is kind of nice because your hand won't get as tired. So I'm going to press nice and light. So I'm still coloring it in, but it's lighter. So I've got a dark line going around the edge of my shell, or the spiral of my shell, and the rest of it I'm going to color in really nice and light. So I'm still coloring it in, but it's going to give you guys a challenge on pressing hard with your crayon and pressing lightly with your crayon. For some of us, that is a big challenge. And some of us are experts and we've done it over and over again, even though we're littles. Okay, so it all takes practice, you guys. So if you're finding this really, really hard, just keep trying. Remember, we never give up. All right, so I can also color in my snail like that. If I wanted to make him a goofy, gross green color, I love it. So we're gonna make some, go around the edge of my squishy snail, and then color in lightly. It's not much of a difference, but enough that it kind of looks like he's a little round. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing with my eyeballs. Let's see if you guys can see yellow. Alright, I'm gonna go around the edge. I kind of just like it like that. Do I want to color in the rest of it? I don't know. Let me try. Yeah, it's okay. Alright, let's have some fun and try to color in your spirals. Don't just leave it at your big snail. I didn't make one very big on this one. But you're also going to color in any other shells that you've got. You can even color in these lines if you want, if you really want to fill in the whole thing with color. Again, guys, if you don't have crayons, you can always use your pencil for this. You can make a seriously goofy snail or a bunch of really goofy snails. So have some fun.